Introduction. If anything can go wrong, it will. If several things can go wrong, the one that will cause the most damage will go wrong first. If everything is going well, you have overlooked something. For the past 5,000 years, your own has been what's going wrong the most. Welcome back to our series on hidden African histories. Today, we are traveling to Tanzania. Here are 10 historical facts about Tanzania. While many people think of East African history starting with the European arrival, that is far from the truth. They are powerhouses that created centuries before the arrival of the Europeans. Their architects have been there millenniums before the arrival of the Europeans as well. 1. A city of gold. When the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama arrived in the late 1400s, he was stunned to find a city where the elites lived in multi-story buildings, wore fine silk from China, and used gold as everyday accessories. 2. The kilo coinage. The kilo coinage was one of the first places in sub-Saharan Africa to mint its own copper coin. Finding these copper coins in places today as far as Australia proves just how extensive their trade was. 3. The footprints of our ancestors. Tanzania is home to the Oidele Gorge, often called the candle of mankind, where the discovery of the oldest footprints was found 3.6 million years ago. These are the oldest footprints because it shows that this was the first time that humans were walking on two legs. 4. The ancient Kilwa. Centuries before the arrival of the Europeans, the island of Kilwa Kisiwani was the center of a powerful Swahili empire. It controlled the gold trade from the interior of Africa to the Middle East all the way into Asia. Its great mosque, built in the 11th century, was one of the largest mosques in sub-Saharan Africa. 5. The Maji Maji Rebellion. From 1905 to 1907, local tribes united against the German colonial rule in one of the largest uprisings in African history. The warriors used the Maji Maji, a sacred water they believed would turn the Germans' bullets into water. Though they were defeated, the rebellion forced Germany to reform its brutal colonial policies. 6. The birth of Tanzania. Tanzania did not always exist as a single name until 1964. It was created by merging the name Tanganyika, the mainland, and Zanzibar, the island. The IA was added to create a cohesive melody named for the newly united republic. 7. The Peanut Scheme. After World War II, the British government attempted a massive project to turn Tanganyika into a global hub for peanut production. Despite spending millions of pounds, the project failed spectacularly because they ignored the local soil conditions and weather. 8. Ujime, African Socialism. Tanzania's first president, Julius, introduced a social philosophy called Ujime. It aimed to build a self-reliant nation through the collective farming and share for African values. While it faced economic challenges, it is credited with creating a peaceful and united nation's identity. 9. The Spice Island. Zanzibar was the world's largest leading producer of clover, but it was also the hub of the Indian Ocean slave trade. The Anglican Cathedral in Stone Town was built specifically on the site of the former slave market. The altar stands exactly where the whipping post once was, as a symbol of redemption and healing. 10. The Liberation Capital. During the struggle against apartheid and colonial rule in South Africa, Dar es Salaam served as the headquarters for liberation movements like the ANC in South Africa and the FRELIMO in Mozambique. Tanzania was a frontline state, providing military training and diplomatic refuge for those fighting for freedom. Thank you for joining us on this episode on Hidden African Histories. Next, we are moving on to Sudan.